Hello, my fellow veterans. Today, I want to talk about something that is so important to us, and that is our benefits. We have worked hard over the years. We have sacrificed life, limb, time, whatever. We served our country. Now we must get what we deserve, and that's our benefits. Now, probably now more than any other time, it's important, if you haven't signed up for them, to do so. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to cover all the benefits that are available to you, because no matter, depending on what state you live in, you may have a different set of benefits than another state. But we all know of the general, the big ones, the health care. We know of disability payments if you do have a service-connected disability. We do know about the GI Bill if you're recently separated from the military or within a certain time frame. I want to talk about now, let me step back. Whether or not you're into social media and you see what's being reported, or you listen to the news, or what have you, the big thing now is everybody is fear-mongering about cutting benefits to veterans. Now, personally, I have faith that essential benefits will not be cut, but I don't know anything. All I know is what I know, which is I'm a disabled veteran, and I rely on these benefits, and I hope they continue for the rest of my life. But more importantly, if you haven't signed up for these benefits, if you are a wartime veteran or you have a service-connected disability, make sure you get over to the VA hospital or hook up with a VSO and sign up. Go to a business office at your local VA hospital and sign up. I have friends that have been separated a long time. Like my brother, he's a Marine, got out, served Vietnam. He's 81 years old, and he just now went to the VA hospital, went to the business office and signed up for benefits. Just now. I have another cousin who flew missions over Iraq and Afghanistan. He's an Air Force pilot. He had never bothered to get benefits. He's a wartime vet. He didn't realize he was eligible. I took him over to the VA hospital here in Las Vegas, and he signed up. Once they knew that he was a wartime veteran, boom, he got his benefits. There's a lot of folks out there who served who don't know what to do, where to go, who to see. Pretty much no matter where you live in every state, the states do have a VSO office. And then you have other VSOs such as AMVETS, DAV. And if you go to your local VA hospital, you have offices in there. I think AMVETS has an office here in Las Vegas. Disabled American Veterans, I know, does. So depending on your local office and what relationship they have to a particular VSO, you could go to the American Legion as a VSO. So you could look this up. Well, you go on Google and you could find out. Again, getting back to cuts and the possibility of cuts, you don't have to look far. There are so many YouTube people that are out there screaming of cuts, what might happen, what could happen, but nobody truly knows what will happen, if anything. But that being said, always protect yourself, take care of yourself, make sure you sign up for all of the benefits you can possibly get. And I was doing a little research this morning. I lived in California for a very long time. I now live in Nevada. I live in Las Vegas, and I'm 100% disabled. So I get my monthly check, plus I use the VA healthcare for all of my medical needs. And I have to tell you, to me, it's been a lifesaver. And I did an episode on VA healthcare. Back 2 years ago, I had a blood cancer. I had CLL, and I had Medicare also. So I looked outside of the VA because people said, well, you got cancer, maybe you should go to like City of Hope or a top cancer hospital. So I contacted City of Hope and find out what their deal was, how much it was going to cost, what type of, went through the whole process. And then I contacted the VA and they knew my situation. And I met with the oncologist at the VA, and basically everything that City of Hope would have done, the VA did. And my out-of-pocket was zero. My out-of-pocket at City of Hope, with coverage, with Medicare and a supplemental insurance that I had at the time, would have cost me about $2,000. I had to take, besides chemo, I had to take a chemo pill, 4 pills actually, every day for a year. And that was through the roof expensive. So my point is utilize this beautiful resource we have. Currently, I have a number of issues that the VA medical has been helping me with. I have mental health issues, so I use them for my therapy. I have high blood pressure. I have spine injuries that I had from the service. So I see doctors pretty much on a weekly basis. I have some gastro problems. If they can't see me, and you know this from the Mission Act, if a VA doctor cannot see you within a certain period of time, or if the VA hospital is too far from where you live, they can, through community care, they can outsource you to a doctor in the community that could see you in a more timely fashion and maybe closer to where you live. So I utilize that a lot. I first see what kind of appointment I could get at the VA hospital, and if it's anything too far, over 30 days, I said, no, send me to community care. And if I don't like the doctor at community care, I call, excuse me, I call them up and they say, find me another doctor, and they do. So, point is, they've been taking care of me, and it's been working quite well. I want to talk about the benefits that I've used. And again, every state, you have the federal benefits that are available to you. Obviously, the GI Bill, disability payments, depending on your percentage rating of disability, you get paid tax-free every month. Medical, certainly, which is huge. But I'll go through the list of what I use and what I've used. And again, benefits vary state by state. Like some benefits have in-state tuition waivers, meaning that if you have children going to college, like I had in California, I have two kids, and they went to state schools. You could, in California, all the Cal State schools were tuition and fee free, as well as the UC schools. So my son or daughter could have gone to UCLA or Cal Berkeley or any of those schools. My son wound up going to San Jose State, and my daughter did as well for a period of time. So each state has their own benefits as far as in-state tuition. Here in Nevada, if you're at Nellis and you just separated, just got out of the service, you separated, and you're not, quote, a resident, you could still get some in-state tuition because you served on a base that's here in Las Vegas. So there are a lot of benefits, and again, it varies state by state. So, again, you go to Google and you say benefits by whatever state you're in, and you could get that. So I just want to go through a listing of some of the benefits that I've used and those that I should have used and I didn't. I'll start with that one. I decided, I got out of the service, it was in the mid 70s, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I worked construction, I worked in a restaurant, in a private club, cooking. So I had no real guidance. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought maybe I should go into, get a business degree. And so I went to community college while I was working, started there and got some of the basics down. And then moved to California from New York and I was working and I wanted to go to either college or four-year school at night, or I found one that had a weekend program for professionals, and that's what I wound up going into. And it was a private school, and I never thought to use my GI benefits because it was still in that time frame, that 10-year period or whatever it was. I never used it. I went out of pocket like a fool, and it never dawned on me to use those benefits. Now, at that time, from the time I got out of this service, I got a rating because I was injured in the service, and I got a rating right away. So I had my monthly disability. It wasn't 100% then, it was much lower. But that was really the only benefit I used. I never went to the VA hospital early on. I just had jobs, so I had insurance through them, so I just went to regular doctors. But that was a big mistake on my part, not utilizing the GI Bill, a benefit that I just threw away. But the benefits that I did use, and I'm very happy that I did use, is I bought 2 houses using a VA loan, which meant that I didn't have to pay what is known as private mortgage insurance because I didn't have enough to put down, and certain fees were waived, and the interest rate was much lower than the regular market. So that was a benefit I used. Certainly, we talked about medical. I started using medical after I've had 4 spine surgeries. So right after the first one, I started using the VA pretty much exclusively, even though I had private insurance on the outside. I just felt that the VA took care of me, and they knew my body, they knew my mind, and I trusted them. And especially the doctors in the VA hospital in LA was great because they utilized a lot of UCLA doctors. So again, it all depends where you live. So I utilized housing, housing loans. I utilized medical. I get monthly disability payments now at 100%, which really helps. My children went to in-state school in California because we lived there. They got free tuition, a 4-year school. That's a huge benefit. What else? Yeah, I wrote this down. Oh, property tax exemption. Huge, huge. And that starts usually at 60%, if you're 60% rated, and then it goes up how much of an exemption you get on your property taxes. If you don't own a house, you can apply that exemption to your driver registration, your car registration. So got that. Those were huge. If you're a hunter or fisher, a fishing guy, you get your free license right there. State parks, utilize that. When we die, there's, we may, if we haven't figured that out as you get older, like me, you got to consider those things. Burial and all of those issues, take care of it. Or state homes. Nevada has a really good state home. They have a few, but the one, if I need it, I will utilize it. That's in Boulder City. Now, every state may have that. License plates. I have disabled plates. I have veteran disabled plates. That goes a long way. But you can get, your branch, your military plates for whatever branch you served in. I was in the Navy. I think I talked about state parks. In California and Nevada, we have incredible state parks, but not to have to pay an admission fee is great. You get a card and it renews every year. So you can, and I'm sure there are a lot more. Oh, if you're in the working world, you get certain points if you're disabled or even not disabled, if you're a veteran. If you're applying for a federal job or a state job or any type of city government type job, you get points. And even if you're not applying for any municipal, federal, state job, and you have a resume, you want to do whatever, go in the private sector and be, an accountant and you have that on your resume, well, I think it goes a long way because they know that you have a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of leadership skills. So all of those things matter. Now, I'm just rattling off a few things that I've used, and I'm sure that there are many, many more out there. The point is, you've earned this. You've earned this. Utilize it. If you haven't signed up, sign up for it. Now, there are so many YouTube channels out there that'll give you the ins and outs of benefits, what's changing day to day. You know, there are some guys out there, I swear to God, I think they put out a video every day of what's happening, you know, what they think might happen, what could happen with benefits. So they're going to cut it. Is this thing going to happen? Is that going to happen? No one really knows. The only thing you should concern yourself with is if you haven't signed up for benefits, do so and do so now because it's important. You've earned it. Now get what you've earned. Do that. It's not, you know, my father was a World War II vet. He was a Marine, fought on Iwo Jima. And, you know, a lot of guys at that time, they never got benefits. They never even thought to get benefits. It was not even, he never even considered it. He never used the GI Bill. He was, you know, just a blue collar guy, you know, and none of the neighborhood fathers who served in World War II, they got nothing. So, you know, and they had disabilities. Of course, I know they did. But we have this, you know, it's a big part of the federal budget. Our taxes pay for it. You've earned it. Utilize it. Now, if anybody has any comments on what I'm talking about, if I've really just kind of hurried through this and there are many more benefits that I missed, please add it to the comments below so everybody can see and we can share this information. You know, if you need to contact me, you can leave a comment and I will get back to you. Let you know how I went about going from when I got out of the service, I think it was 10% rated, something like that immediately. And then I went from 10 to 30 to 60 to 100. But it took me a long time. I got to 100% 10 years ago, 2013. Well, it's 12 years now, but 2013. So it was a long time from 1970. I got at 78. That was a pretty long time to get that. And, you know, with a lot of, and I had all the documentation that you need. I had the nexus, I had the letters, I had the records, I had the x-rays, I had 4 surgeries, plus numerous other, I had a stack literally like this. And I think I used, trying to see who I used first. The first VSO that I considered, I don't know, I think maybe DAV, but then I used AmVets, and they were wonderful. This one particular guy, and I had a couple of good doctors and nurses, and at the VA in LA, and they helped me through this thing. And it was, you know, it's been a godsend, truthfully. It's really helped me. I can't be more grateful for this gift that I've been given. Even though my body's paid the price, it's still a beautiful benefit. And the point is, get your benefits. You know, don't let fear-mongering or laziness, like in my case, I was so lazy to get things done, you know, I still kick myself over that GI Bill, but get it done. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful, and we'll catch you on the next one. And I thank you for listening. Again, let's share, let's create a community out there, a lot of veterans. I'm in Las Vegas. We want to get together? Let's do so. Talk to you soon.